Hi guys, and welcome to my Season 2, Series 2 review of Doctor Who. Yeah, this is probably going to be a bit of a long video. I have been working on this for a while, and yeah, let's just get into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about Season 2 versus Season 1 is obviously kind of the big thing, the new Doctor. In my opinion, because I know a lot of people have been asking me in my videos, which Doctor do you prefer? At the moment, I prefer 9 to 10. You can kind of tell in my reactions, I haven't fully warmed up to 10. I don't dislike him. I don't know. I like 9 better. I think that could very much be because of the actor. But at the same time, I'm not like saying like, oh, I definitively like 9 better. We have more of 10 to go. Who knows? I mean, 10 might become my favorite. I have no idea as time goes on. But at the moment, I do prefer 9. And I can't really explain entirely too much why. I think if I explain it, I feel like you guys are gonna like get mad at me. But like I feel like 10 is really like blah, and like all over the place a lot. And I don't know, I just like 9 swagger. I know that sounds so stupid of a reason, but I just like him a little bit better. The next thing that I want to go into in this video are my top 3 favorite episodes of this season. I don't know how many I said in my season 1 review, like how many episodes I picked, but I picked just 3 in these just because I feel like a lot of them were 2-parters and very all-encompassing, so I just went with 3 of them. Number 3 on that list would be Doomsday. I feel like I really enjoyed the finale a lot. You know, it was one thing that I was definitely thinking during the finale, I guess the whole 2-parter, but I wish that there were more Doctor and Jackie scenes, either 9 or 10. I'm not entirely, you know, sold on which one, but I just kind of wish that there was like a whole episode just dedicated to them getting on each other's nerves, because I would have really enjoyed that. But going more into Doomsday, for me, the hype wasn't as big for the whole Dalek versus Cybermen showdown, but I felt like there were so many, like I could feel you guys in the comment section. You guys were like, this was crazy. And I can imagine after all that time watching this show and having the 2 main, I don't know if there's any other like species of bad guys that I should be aware of as well, but for at this moment, the 2 main bad guys kind of going head to head. I do wish that they focused a little more on that and had like a battle scene. I felt like they were kind of just you know, cutting to clips and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I could really feel how you guys felt about that. And you guys seemed really excited. I may have been a letdown for how excited I was, but it was still really cool to see nonetheless. But moving on with why Doomsday is good, it's the emotional factor. I think, for one, I think they did a really good job, not just wrapping up Rose, which I'll get to in a second, but wrapping up, you know, Jackie and Mickey as well. I think they gave them moments. I think, you know, the writers kind of let them have a little bit of closure as well in the series. Now, I don't know if we're going to see any of them again, but, you know, from where I'm at my standpoint right now, I really think that it was kind of really cool how they kind of, you know, wrapped that all together. Okay, let's talk about Rose. And yes, I am not the hugest fan of Rose, but I don't hate her like some of you think. And it was a sad, emotional episode for her. I loved that they started it with this is how I die. And we get to the point where that final scene, and you see them, you know, her holding on for dear life, and, you know, the doctor literally, like, you can tell that he's like losing his mind because he's about to lose the woman that he loves. And in that scene, you know, it's kind of foreshadowed. They say, this is how I died. And it's, so you think that she's going to get sucked in, but her father comes and saves her. But no matter what, it was sad. It was sad that she now has to live on without the doctor, and he has to live on without her. And they're kind of just, it's a nice, I like sad endings sometimes. I'm kind of really weird that way. I mean, I wasn't as torn up about it because I don't think I'm as connected to Rose and the doctor as other people were, but it was a sad ending, but I thought a great send-off. I did think the whole like cutting out right as he was saying like, I love you, like, that's a little cliche and cheesy and like, okay. But I mean, it was kind of, the whole sequence was really, really sad where they're both on the wall, knowing that they're never going to see each other again was really depressing. And I think that they really delivered on the emotional punch of the season finale. Number 2 on the list of favorite episodes of season 2 is Age of Steel. I don't think any of you are really all that surprised. Mainly because Mickey was a Banff, but we'll get to that in a second. For me, the Cybermen are, even though their outside appearance seems to be a little cheesy, who they are and what they do to people is really scary. And I liked that there was finally a villain in the show that I was like, whoa, that's really messed up. I don't like that. It kind of freaks me out. Like, you know, I did really like that, even though they work a little, you know, cheesy. The other character that I think is kind of a, like, maybe underappreciated, I have no idea. I don't know much about the fan community, but was Angela Price or Mrs. Moore. That scene with her and the doctor, I just felt so strongly for her, and the whole that whole sequence I really, really liked, and I felt like her storyline was really, really well written for such a small part in the entire season. But obviously, I think it's not any secret that why I really liked the episode. It was kind of Mickey's first time to shine. He didn't need to prove anything to me, but it seemed like he probably needed to prove a lot to the audience and to the Doctor and Rose too. You know, I was never, I think a lot of my disdain for the Doctor and Rose was circled around the fact that they just, nobody get mad at me. But the fact that, you know, Mickey was helping and he was doing these things and they're just like, you're just an idiot, ha ha ha, and they would like laugh together, and it's like, fuck you, like, I don't know, and that's just how I felt about that. And I liked that he got his moment to shine. I did not like that he left. It was rude and I didn't appreciate it, but he came back and it was okay. God, I really wish there was a spin-off where we could have seen, you know, like what Mickey did in that time. Don't you think? Is that just me? I wish I could have watched that. It seems like it would be a little more gritty, kind of like this war going on. I don't know. Just my opinion. I would have loved to see that. I might be the only one. And number 1, I don't think this is going to be a surprise to many people, but my number 1 episode of this season was School Reunion. First of all, if you put Giles in an episode of anything, I'm going to love it. Yeah, I mean, no matter what. So, but let's go beyond that, shall we? The monsters were a little bizarre, but aren't they always on this show? I don't know. That's what I think. The thing that I wanted, why this tops all of the other episodes to me, is because I felt the nostalgia of this episode. I felt it in the writing, in the acting. It was so well done, and I didn't even watch Doctor Who before this. I had no idea before this episode who Sarah Jane was. I didn't know K9, although adorable, love him. And it was seeping with nostalgia. There were just moments that I could feel the emotion as somebody who wasn't even attached to it. And I can't even imagine what you guys went through. I absolutely think that that episode knocked it out of the park, for sure. I think, I mean, I was like tearing up when he left K9 behind, and I'm like, what are you doing? This is too sad, and I didn't even know these people. And then the goodbye with Sarah was just, oh my God, I loved it. I'm a sucker for relationships and lots of emotions, and I really liked the dynamic of everybody, and Mickey was also in that episode, which always gives it a little check plus in my book. But yeah, that episode to me, I think, was hands down the best. Let me know in the comments what your favorite episode of season 2 is. But yeah, School Reunion just knocked it out of the park for me. The only other thing that I kind of want to say is, I mean, we've talked about it in the videos in the comment section. Hype. Hype is always something that is a little dangerous. A lot of you people love The Girl in the Fireplace, and you know what it was, and I explained this before, but I was like waiting for something crazy to happen. I was like, oh my God. And I'm gonna rewatch it, by the way, but not on camera probably, but I'm gonna rewatch it and just kind of, you know, see if I, you know, feel any different the second time around. But I definitely like, you know, when you watch these episodes and people are like, it's my favorite, it's wonderful, whatever, you just have high expectations, and I'm like, well, what did I miss? I must have missed something. Like, I was like thinking like there was gonna be a big twist or something, and I think it was just a sweet story, and I didn't, you know, I didn't get the hype, and that'll happen. In the exact opposite direction, Love and Monsters, I didn't mind. I thought it was hilarious, and the guy, okay, yeah, it was a little weird at the end. But this show is kind of weird sometimes. I don't know. To me, I liked the guy a lot, the main guy, and I thought he was really funny. And yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. But again, I had this expectation, like, this is going to be the worst thing I'm ever going to watch, like, whatever, because everybody was saying that. So, be careful of hype, but nobody jump on anybody who's like, this is my favorite episode coming up, or whatever, you know. I think that's just my own fault, more so than it's your fault, because I just, you know, I go in with certain expectations because of things that I've read, and I need to kind of just put everything aside and say, I'm just going to decide for myself. So again, my bad on that part, but yeah, I just wanted to mention those two because I felt like those were kind of important episodes reaction-wise and how I viewed them. So I'm probably going to rewatch Girl in the Fireplace at some point, and I will let you guys know how I feel about it. So the next thing that I want to talk about, because I think you can't get away with talking about season 2 without talking about this, is the Doctor and Rose's relationship. All right, buckle up, here we go. All right, so I think it is a general consensus with you guys that you think I absolutely hate them, and I don't. I just don't connect to them as much as I connect to, say, Mickey or other characters or Jackie. You know, there's a couple times where Rose makes me roll my eyes, but you know, I didn't hate her, you know. This is what I want to talk about when it comes to this relationship. For me, I'm going to say kind of the negative things for me first and then go into the more positive things. Yeah, so for me, the negative was, to me, and that's just me, I feel like it came out of nowhere. Like, I felt like they were extra flirty in the one with Cassandra. Oh God, New Earth? I'm probably wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But it was, that there's like flirty stuff going on there, and there was a lot of, and I'm just like, whoa, I feel like it came out of nowhere, and this is a new doctor. I know it's the same guy technically, but not, and I felt like it just came out of nowhere for me. And then it just seemed like, okay, now they're really flirty all the time, and they like super love each other. And to me, it wasn't as natural or gradual of a progression, just in my opinion. But let's talk about it, because the thing that I'm gonna say about this relationship is they did love each other. As much as I wasn't a fan of how it kind of just came out of nowhere for me, they did love each other. I mean, that's like a fact. I mean, especially if you watch Doomsday, I think any sort of doubts you had that they loved each other is, you know, gone. But let me talk about, this is kind of couples in general in TV shows or movies. And in my opinion, people are really obsessed, the fan communities are really obsessed with defining relationships. Are they together? Are they not together? This, that, and the other thing. And I've had a couple of relationships I really loved in TV and I absolutely adored, but it had nothing to do with the fact of whether they were a quote-unquote couple. And I think this falls into that category for those of you who really loved them. Sometimes things are gray areas. Sometimes people aren't just, you don't have to define everything. They both loved each other. Can we leave it at that? I don't know. I mean, that's just, it just reminded me of some relationships I've seen in other shows where the fan community, and I don't really know what the response was at the time of this airing, or like, they're gonna get together, they're not gonna get together. But who cares? If they love each other, they love each other, and why does it need to be defined? Why do you need that like moment of, I don't know. Things are deeper than just saying that they're, you know, a couple or a boyfriend, girlfriend, or they have that kiss scene and all of the stereotypical stuff. As much as the thing was, I wasn't a huge fan of the Doctor and Rose relationship because of the fact that I just didn't connect very well to the Doctor or Rose. It's not that I hated them together. It's not that I was like, ew. You know, it's just that I cared more about other things. That's it. Another thing that I thought was really great in season 2 was the fact that I think they did a very good job at incorporating little tidbits of Torchwood and bringing it up, you know, and not making it overpowering, but still bringing it up in order to set up the spinoff. Now, I don't know about the spinoff, and I don't know all of that stuff, and what actually happens in it. But to me, I felt like they set it up pretty good. And they just, you know, in a couple of episodes kind of sprinkled a little bit of, you know, hints and clues. And I don't know, I really liked it. But let me answer your questions here, because I got it a lot. if I'm going to watch Torchwood. I am not. It's too much to do a season of that and a season of this on top of my other videos. Blah. So what I'm hoping for you guys is to let me know if there is anything that I need to know. Moving forward with Doctor Who, if there's an episode coming up that something happens with Torchwood that I need to know, just let me know what it is. Don't worry about spoilers for Torchwood. We're gonna say that in this video. Do not worry if you're gonna spoil something major in Torchwood, okay? Because at this point, I feel like I want to go through this Doctor Who journey with you, and you know, if I need information, then I need information. Don't be shy with that, because I don't want to be like not understanding a plot because of that. And I don't know how much it overlaps, or if it overlaps at all. So now I'm going to go into a couple things that were kind of things that I really liked, but they don't really fit into a category, and I'm just gonna talk about them. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the last scene, or semi-last scene, of the Christmas invasion. I really like scenes where it's kind of controversial and the fans, like half the people agree with this and half the people agree with that, and I kind of saw it in the comment section. The whole Harriet Jones thing and blowing them out of the sky, and how everybody kind of felt about that. Not really talking about how I feel one way or another. I love scenes like that. I love scenes that it's a gray area. It's not really black or white. And I don't know. I just really like when they incorporate scenes like that, and I hope they incorporate more in the future. The next thing that I really loved, and as much as it did not make my cut for favorite episodes, I loved the fact in the Impossible Planet in the Satan Pit, it was like a group cast, and I've talked about that before, how I really like bigger casts, and I just felt like I could fall in love with characters, and there was more of a development and lots of relationships and back and forth, and I don't know, I just really liked that dynamic, and I really hope that we get some more episodes kind of like that in the future. I'm sure we will at some point. There's a lot of episodes to go through, so let's hope. And the last thing that I kind of wanted to mention that I don't know if I really explained that much in the reaction is I really liked the storyline with Jackie in Love and Monsters. Her talking about being left behind, I don't know, it just rang so true with me. And, you know, it's like nobody thinks about her, and all I wanted to do was like reach through the screen and give her a big ass hug. I really liked Jackie, and I really liked her sentiments in that episode, even though it was all a little weird leading up to it and after that. But I liked that, you know, they kind of gave her a little bit of the spotlight and talked about what her experience has been like. I, you know, would love if they went more into that kind of sentiment in the future. So rounding out the video and kind of finishing it up, I want to talk about kind of the theme for the season. A lot of shows I watch, and ones that I really enjoy, have like a specific theme every season. I think The Walking Dead's really like that. I, you know, think Buffy's like that. And I try to find, you know, what they were trying to really accomplish with the full season, not just every episode. And the first season of Doctor Who, I feel like was really about exploring and taking that big leap forward, you know what I mean, and into the unknown. Season 2, I felt very strongly this season was about sacrifice and the personal sacrifices that you make in order to move forward in life for the greater good. I mean, I'm sure that that's a running theme through all of Doctor Who, but I felt like, especially in School Reunion, you know, we're talking about somebody who is near and dear to the Doctor that he had to give up at some point. And then at the end, we're seeing him having to give up Rose, and her having to give up him as well, in order to save everyone. That's a big, even though they didn't know that that's exactly how it would end up. But it's a big sacrifice, and we're seeing, you know, when Mickey stayed behind, and you know, at the end of the Satan pit, or not the end, but just I'm forgetting her name, but the woman that was, you know, going to kind of stay behind for the good of everyone. And I think making these like personal sacrifices is really kind of, we're starting to see that that's really at the heart of this show and the heart of this season. You know, I think the Doctor and Rose are kind of the biggest example of that, but anyway, it was just kind of what came to mind when it came to that. So that's about it, guys. Moving forward, I'm so excited for the next season and seasons after that. A lot of you were saying like 4 is really good. That's what a lot of you say. So, but I'm sure some of you will disagree because you guys tend to do that. Basically, what I want to kind of say to you guys is, it's going to be inevitable sometimes to avoid spoilers. There's not much I can do about that. Even people who think that they aren't posting spoilers, sometimes you are. There's a lot of people, and there was not just one, there was a ton of people who said, you'll like season 3 a whole lot better because Rose isn't in it. And what does that tell me? Rose leaves and or dies at the end of season 2. It's going to be inevitable, so try not to jump on each other's backs about it. But also, you know, again, let me know if something big is going to be spoiled. I know that kind of says like, it's kind of like leaving it up to your own discretion, but no matter what, it's going to get a little crazy. Somebody's going to say something and people are going to be upset that they said, you know, you're going to see Mickey again, or you're going to, you know, I like it when the new Doctor comes in this season. You know, like I knew at the end of last season that the Doctor was, you know, that Chris was going to leave, because everybody was like, well, you'll love the 10th Doctor. So yeah, just be careful about what you say sometimes, but again, at the same time, it's gonna happen. This show is big, and it's gonna be kind of hard to just completely, you know, not get any spoilers whatsoever. But we're gonna try, right, guys? Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching this video and commenting and, you know, watching the 2nd season with me. I'm very excited to get into the 3rd season. I'm interested to see who the new companion is going to be. I'm assuming there's going to be a new companion. So I can't wait. And you guys are lovely and always are. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.